you.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well.
Nice to meet you.
You too, Brianna.
I'm Allie.
Are you having a good morning so far?
Yes, I am. I made some breakfast and got to sleep in a little bit.
It's nice.
And got ready for the day.
Yeah, it's beautiful out today.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you for getting here.
I know.
All right. So as I'm sure you already know, you are applying for an assistant wedding consultant position. And the purpose of this interview is really just to get to know you and your personality and kind of look into some of the traits and things that you have that might fit the position well and contribute positively to our community here. And then how it's going to run, we'll just ask you, some general questions about your job experience and your education, and then we also set up a few hypotheticals that we really just want you to have fun with and kind of show off your creativity. And then I'll tell you a little bit about Bijou and our community here. If you have any questions at the end, feel free to ask.
Sounds
Do
good.
you have any questions so far?
Not yet.
Okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. So go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself and what makes you a good candidate for this position.
So I am an organizational communication major at the University of Portland. In organizational communication, I've learned a lot about theories and how to communicate for companies and within them. And I'm also a member of, or a marketing assistant for the University of Portland, so I've had a lot of experience with events and decorating for events for them and editing brochures for them as they, there was a President Inauguration Gala recently that I helped out with, and then last spring there was the gala, the Rise Gala, so that was a really cool experience to help out with. And then
those were pretty big events.
Yeah, those are big events that I was able to help out with. And then I'm also, this past summer, I had an internship as a development bike intern for the Multiple Sclerosis Society. And for part of their mission is to or to find a cure for multiple sclerosis. And so we put on a bike event, and so I was in charge of recruiting people and calling people and practicing effective communication skills, and answering any of their questions, which I think really pertains to Bijou Wedding's mission, because I know your mission is to form honest and open relationships with them, and I feel like I really resonate with that, especially because I feel like it's important to serve your client, and that's what I tried to do as a bike MS development intern. And I also had the opportunity to contact vendors and contact, which I think is applicable to this internship. So I contacted some wineries, a brewery. I also contacted some you pick areas. That way, so just for families, the weekend of the bike event, for them to go off the Western Oregon University campus. And
so those were all Portland-based companies that you're working with then?
So I was able to call them, and actually most of them are located in the Monmouth, near Western Oregon universities. So I feel like overall that was a really good experience to learn about events and to learn about all the details that go into events. You wouldn't think of all this stuff that goes into events, but there's so many details, and especially for weddings, with planning and meeting with the bride and groom. And so yeah, it's a long answer to your question.
That was fantastic. You have a lot of experience. It's great. In your application, you mentioned that you have dealt with tasks where you have multiple deadlines going on at once. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. So, for example, as a marketing or as a development bike MS intern, there were times when I had to call a certain amount of people within a certain amount of time. There were times when I had to, at the same time, finish or get packages and put them and get those ready for the event.
Right.
At the same time that I'm communicating with people, so multiple deadlines at the same time. So.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, that's a fantastic skill. A lot of times with us, we're working on multiple weddings at once, so being able to handle all of that and the different groups and is just a really great skill to have. So we were impressed with that on your application. Yeah. So moving along, do you have any past? So you do have a lot of past experience planning events. Are there any other skills, like from class that you've taken, you said you were an organizational communications major that you'd feel are applicable to this position?
Yeah, so as an organizational communication major, I feel that I'm very driven, and if I'm given a task, I will complete it. I also really like to be involved in, I feel like I'm really flexible. I'm one of the coordinators for the adoration team here at University of Portland, and so I've had to contact priests and the students and schedule times for them to come and help out with that. That's every Tuesday night. And so I've had to form interviews, or I've had to plan meeting times for us all to meet together. So I feel like I know how to communicate effectively, and yeah, I really love teamwork and collaborating with other people and getting their ideas, and using creativity to respond to different problems, or so yeah.
So it seems like you've had a lot of experience working with a wide range of people, whether it be priests or your peers too. Is that true?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's really great. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to kind of mix in some hypothetical questions.
Okay.
So let's say that you're meeting with a potential client, that'd be the bride and groom. What are some topics that you would like to cover, and what are things that you would prioritize?
So first of all, I think it's important to serve them, and I think it's important to look over their budget first and what they're willing to spend, so that then I can cater the vendors. And I know as part of this job, it's to negotiate with the vendors and pricing, and I think that a budget is really important. And then I would also go over how they would want the wedding to go, and how in terms of like decorations, and what kind of music they would like, and see, and then I'd show them options of videographers and photographers and different, I'd maybe show them past weddings and maybe pictures of what other people have done, and color schemes.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that that's how I prioritize, more focused on their budget, and then work my way down to the minor details.
Great, fantastic. So let's say that you are working with them in this meeting, and they're really set on this vendor, but unfortunately that vendor does not fit their budget. How would you go about that situation? What are some of the steps that you would take?
So first of all, I think I would research other companies, other possible companies that our company has either worked for before, or researching new companies and talking with them to see if they can, to make sure they're quality companies that still, but still on the still on the affordable side to fit their budget, I think. So I think that's how I would handle that, and just to let them know that they are my #1 priority, and that their needs should be met over what vendors. Just because we have a certain vendor doesn't mean that I would expect them to have or to choose that option.
Right, and you said also on your application that you didn't ever want a bride and groom to feel that they couldn't have the wedding that they wanted because of a budgeting issue. So
yeah, exactly.
Thing. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So we're gonna move into another hypothetical. This is kind of a fun one. This is one I really just want you to have fun with. You can take a few seconds, take some time, no pressure. So let's say a bride you're working with comes in, and she has an overbearing mother, and she comes to you looking for advice. So how would you go about that situation? What would you tell her? Just give us kind of examples of how you would handle it.
So first off, like I mentioned before, I think that the bride it's her day, so I think that I would tell her that it's all going to be okay, and that say the mother of the overbearing mother of the bride is not is kind of pushing her opinion. I would say that either talk to the mother of the bride and say, I think it's important to value her opinion. And then I would also talk to the bride and just say, we will do anything for you. We will, what do you want from us? And saying things like that to her.
So you would offer advice to her in that situation?
Yeah, so offering advice and letting her know that everything's going to be okay.
Okay, that's great. Perfect reassurance, yeah. And last hypothetical, so let's say that you're coordinating a wedding, and the music that you've had set up, the band you've had set up to come is a half an hour late. And we put you in charge of choosing songs to kind of delay until the band and music can get there. What are some songs that you would choose to have at the wedding? And the couple that we're looking at is a very fun, young couple. Maybe it's an outdoor wedding, just very light and airy.
Okay. Well, first of all, I would ask them their music preferences, because even though I like country music, maybe they hate country music. So I'd ask them their choices and some of their favorite songs. But then on the other hand, I wouldn't want to make them feel stressed if the vendor isn't there, and just let them know that the vendor or the musicians will be there in 30 minutes. And then I'd also contact the musicians and let them know that I'm playing music in the meantime, but to try to hurry as fast as possible.
And then do you have any examples of songs that you would play? Like what are some songs that you think would be appropriate for that kind of a situation?
Maybe some love songs. Do you want a specific love song?
Sure, like what's your favorite? Yeah, you can think of one. If not, totally fine.
Okay, I can't really think of anything right now,
yeah,
but
that's fine. So looking at love songs, happy,
love songs, happy. I know that lots of pop songs have like, or like country songs are a lot dealing with like marriage or like that kind of stuff. So.
Okay, perfect. So you do have some in the background that you could throw in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Have an iPod playlist. So.
Yeah. So our last question. This is really just to kind of get to know you again. This is another just really fun question. So we just want to know what's your spirit animal and why?
Well, I've never thought of this before. I would say my spirit animal is a cat.
Cat, okay.
Because I would say I really like to relax, but then I also, I think cats are very enthusiastic. And I think, especially for this position, it's important to be enthusiastic and loving towards the couple. And I would also say, actually, dogs are more this way. They're more dogs. I feel like show you their honesty and stuff.
Right.
And they'll Anyway,
the loyalty.
Yeah, their loyalty. But anyway, I'll stick with cat. But yeah, so that would probably be my spirit animal.
Fantastic. Great. And then do you have any questions for us?
Yeah. So how many weddings would I be in charge of in an average month?
So typically we do work on multiple weddings in a month. It depends on the season. Spring and winter are usually some of the more popular months, as well as summer. At any time, we can have 3 to 4 weddings a month. So you're definitely going to be working on multiple weddings at once. We probably wouldn't assign you to a wedding on your own. So we all collaborate together. So you definitely would not be alone in that. But we are multitasking and definitely working with different couples at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, nice. So it's a very team environment and
collaborative.
Collaborative,
Sure.
yeah, collaborative environment. And then, what does a typical day look like?
It depends on what stage in the planning process we are. So generally, you're going to be at different stages for different weddings. So some of them you could be day before, and you're really just checking on the details, making sure that everything is all caught up. So that would mean most likely being at the venue. Checking in with the venue people, making calls, and making sure that everyone knows what time they're supposed to be there. Or if you're in the beginning of the process, a day could be a meeting with the client, or you could have meetings with clients all day. Or it's really fun to work for us because we do have such dynamic schedules, so you never really know what you're doing each day. It really depends on where you're at in the process of planning. Yeah.
Nice. And then, yeah, I think that is all my questions. Thank you so much for your time.
So before you head out, I just want to go over super quick.
Okay,
just about Bijou a little bit. So we've been operating since 2006, and we're just a group of girls. We like to have fun. We have really close relationships with each other, and we kind of like to carry that over into our relationships with the clients. And then we do work, as you said, that's fantastic that you looked at our mission statement also. Honesty and integrity is number one for us. So if something's going wrong with the wedding, we want to make sure that everyone on the back end knows about it, and the wedding and the family knows about what's going on too, and then just having honest relationships with vendors as well. And we're just really integrating the planning of Portland, so any of your connections that you have with vendors in Portland will be valuable to us. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, we're just fun. We want to make people's wedding the best party that they've ever been to. So
yeah.
Well, we really appreciate you coming in today. It was really great to meet you.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Nice to
We'll
meet
see you
you
soon. Yeah, we'll be in contact.
Okay, thank you.